Welcome back to the show, the eternal show. We're never gonna die, we're gonna live forever. I'm trying something new, a little bit sultry. Did you find it kind of sexy? Yeah, it's kind of sexy. I'm singing, and I wanted to say sexy in a normal voice and transition back to my high-pitched notes. It's kind of fun. Oh, seventh heaven. A little bit of share for you.
Smack. That reminds me of when we used to do the Mickey and Minnie Mouse voice.
Yeah. Oh boy, Minnie, you look like a man.
Well, that was the bad person's impression of it. The real one was, "Hey, Minnie, let's go home and fuck in our bed."
Oh boy, Minnie, I think I'm dying of cancer. That's not funny. Oh, that's not funny. I'm sorry. That's not funny. They say as they laugh.
as they almost die from laughter. Oh boy, Minnie, it's welcome to AAWI, the And Also With You podcast from Affable Idiots. Every week, jeder Woche, auf Deutsch, join us and all your other lifelong friends as we laugh together. Ha 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 ha. We share secrets. Y'all, sometimes I swab out my belly button with rubbing alcohol.
Probably for the best. Your belly button smells like a dead person.
Yes, we've talked about this, where, like...
Oh boy, Minnie, your belly button smells like a dead person.
Oh boy, my belly button smells like a fucking asshole. Yeah, if I... for a long time when I was younger, my belly button just smelled bad. And then I started, like, really digging in there and cleaning it out, and it was fine. And
Wasn't
now...
it at governor's school where I was like, Mike...
Yeah, you were like, your belly button.
How did I determine that your belly button smelled so terrible? Did you touch it and put it in my face or something?
That sounds likely.
Smell my belly button.
Yeah, that
I feel
sounds
like that's probably what
happened. So now every once in a while, just to make sure, I'll take a Q-tip, dip it in some rubbing alcohol, and go swabby, 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 just in case. Strabby. And we strengthen our friendships on this off-color Mr. Rogers-esque show. I'm one of your hosts, Chad Michael Innes. I've got with me here the enigmatic Jesse Neal.
Hi, that's me. I'm a supervillain. You can just call me Enigma. That's a character. That's a supervillain somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Enigma. That's the Riddler, Jim Carrey. Edward Nigma.
I'm the Riddler. My name's Jesse. I'm the Riddler.
That's a perfect Jim Carrey impression.
It's the same voice, I'm realizing.
Mickey Mouse with whatever accent it is. I'm the Riddler. I'm Mickey Mouse the Riddler.
I'm Mickey Mouse doing an accent. Oh boy.
And all you other lifelong friends listening and watching across the world, I am so happy to be here with you today.
And also with you. Also with you.
Jesse. I'm going to start today by asking you a question, and I want you to answer like Abraham Lincoln would have.
Oh, honest Abe.
Honest, ably. He's an ableist.
Ably.
Abe Lincoln.
Ably.
In my head, I just went, I asked you like Abe Lincoln would, and then I made the connection of ableist, and then I was like, oh, did you know that ably is almost like Abe Lincoln? It's like in full circle.
Oh boy.
Jesse, what sparked your haircut?
Oh, I hadn't had it cut in almost a year. My ends were basically like Velcro, and I wasn't wearing it down ever because it was too unruly. So I've gotten it cut.
Ooh.
I'm liking it. Right now it's a little
GR8.
frizzy up top. Grazie. It's a little frizzy on the top because we took the dog for a walk and it was really windy. But these curls have bounced back to life. Look at this. Look at this curl. I don't even know how.
It's a bouncy
on
curl.
This black. Can you see it on my black sweatshirt?
Yeah, that's
just a
got some
beautiful
bounce.
curl. And and my hair, I washed it yesterday, and then I just kind of spritzed it with some water, and I go.
Whoa. You go.
Zhuzh it back to life. So I'm enjoying it. I've been wearing my hair down much, much more.
When did you get it cut?
To Wednesday.
Wednesday. Mittwoch, which is German for middle of the week, or Wednesday.
Or as I like to say, Mittwochtag, because it's weird to me that every day is Tag except Wednesday. So I like to say
Tag.
Mittwochtag.
Yeah.
Germans love me.
I also got my hair cut. Today. I got mine cut, and I was cut about 6 inches off of it. The person who was cutting my hair, she's like, "It's gonna cut like half of your hair off." I was like, "Yep." She's like, It'll grow back." I was like, "Maybe."
I'm fine with it.
I'm okay with that. She's like, "Okay."
Did she like your hair and didn't want you to cut your hair?
She was just like, yeah, it's a commitment to grow it out. Because I also had been growing it out for a year, since since right before my surgery. And my goal was I want to be able to French braid it all the way back like a Viking haircut. And
Did you
this
ever?
morning I did. I was finally able to do it, and I didn't like it. So I'm like, cool, did that. Let's cut it back short again.
I like
But
it.
in growing it out that long, this is about how long my hair was in May, which I had not really grown it out that long in a decade. So I learned that I kind of like this length.
It's good
It was
length.
worth it. Yeah.
Length.
Length. No.
Length.
Do you say height
Length.
or
It's
height?
length.
Are you one of those people who puts an extra H on the end of the word height? People are like,
I
the
say-
height
I say
of that
height.
chair.
I say height, but I also say eighth. And I honestly, until I was a junior or a senior in college, I thought it was eighth, not eighth. And somebody called me out on it, and I was like, no, it's eighth. It's eight. And but like, no, it's eighth. Otherwise, it would be eighth with the spelling. Eighth. I think the word is height, but I say height.
Eighth. I don't know how I say eight or eighth. I don't know how I say eighth. I don't say eighth. I say eighth. Eighth place.
Yeah, but you also
No, I
say
definitely
ancient, and that's weird.
Do you say how do you say like the 1 year celebration of a marriage? How do you say that word?
What? Anniversary?
Yeah, okay, that one. Yeah. I was listening to a podcast the other day and someone said anniversary. And I was like
Anniversary?
anniversary.
Like a sh sound?
And
That's
then I was
not
like,
right.
you know, I think I've heard that before. Do I say that? Do I say anniversary, and adversary? No, the word height.
Anathema?
Height is not a word. It's height.
No, it's height.
It's not height. That's not a word. Let's look it up.
I'm pretty sure I'm twice the height I used to be. Or is it twice the height I used to be?
Okay.
Maybe I don't even say height.
Merriam-Webster says that it is a chiefly dialectal variant of height. So the word is height, but some dialects say height.
I don't think I've ever said height. I think I just say height. But eighth is definitely a thing that I probably still continue to say. Eighth.
The part that rises or extends upward.
I feel like maybe I say eighth now because I got called out for it. And I was like, well, okay.
Eighth. Height.
Yeah, I don't think I say height. Eighth.
This is thrilling.
Walk.
Walk, talk. Now I want to know where the dialect is. Like, who says height?
Yeah.
Let's look up Urban Dictionary. They'll have the answer.
Well,
Urban Dictionary says height is not a word. It's not. It's often used in place of the correct term height.
Well, you can't trust them over Merriam-Webster.
They also
On
say
Merriam-Webster,
vaxhole. One who has been fully vaccinated and brags about it.
Vaxhole. According to Merriam-Webster, it does say chiefly dialectical variant of height, and so it's the part that rises or extends upward. Yeah. But it says the highest part, so the summit or the zenith.
Right.
I would call that the summit or the zenith of something. I would call that the peak.
Sure. But the definition it's giving you there is the definition of height. And it's letting you know that height is a dialectal variant of height.
That's not the definition of height, is it? Isn't the definition of height
Look up height
the
on
full
that same
tallness
website.
from bottom to top?
From bottom to top, I drop.
Let's see. Height.
On Urban Dictionary, the second definition of it says the other dimension to width, depth, and breadth. And then it says often used by people who say across.
Crossed. Oh, gosh. Ferris wheel. No? Okay, so the first definition... Okay, here we go. So under height and under height. The first definition is referring to what I would call the peak of something. So the part that rises or extends upward the greatest distance, the highest part of something. But the second definition of both height and height is the distance from the bottom to the top of someone or something standing upright, which is what I have always thought of the word as.
Height, yeah, if you think like, oh my God, at the height of the pandemic, or movie In the Heights, the higher...
Yeah, that's true. Why don't we say at the peak of the pandemic? It's more fun. The peak of the pandemic.
Peak of the pandemic, pickle the peppers.
The tip of the dick.
The lips, the teeth, the tip of the dick. Welcome, everyone. We have a lot to talk about today. How did we get started on that? I don't know.
You never know where this show is going to go in the beginning.
That's true. Speaking of the height of the pandemic, we're going to talk about marry, fucking, and killing the pandemic in our healthy competition today. We're going to have an honest discussion about the best types of pasta, or ranking the 12 pastas. And then we're also
Plus one honorable mention.
Plus one honorable mention. And then we're going to leave you with a little positive thought today. So, starting with our healthy competition, last week we played a game called Anime Metalcore Song or some shit Casey made up, and I was terrible at it. I was les enfants terribles at it.
You were...
La
Les enfants, you were children terrible?
Les enfants terribles is like the moniker given to the twins in Metal Gear Solid Snake and Liquid Snake.
Oh, the terrible children.
Yes.
Or something like that. Okay, right. Because in other languages, they say things first, and then they say it reversed from how we say them.
Right. This week...
Cool.
Jesse, we're playing Marry, Fuck, Kill the Pandemic. I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory to this. It all started with my haircut. And I started thinking, it's been a year since the pandemic. It's been a year since we did our one episode that we thought was going to be the pandemic episode.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
We've learned a lot about ourselves. We've been quarantining. There's a lot of things we've done as a society. And a lot of times in learning and development roles, in bigger companies as they examine what they've been doing and whether or not things are working, they'll have a reflection period. And they'll say, all right, when we were doing this, what do we want to keep doing that we were doing before? What would we like to stop doing? And then what would we like and then there's like a what if section. What would we like to start doing? So what do we want to start doing? What do we want to keep doing? And then what do we want to stop doing?
Is that the marry, fucking kill?
That's the marry. We're going to put our twist on it. So of all the things that we've done in the pandemic as a society, what should we keep doing that we maybe hadn't done before? We'll call that... so that's the idea. We're gonna twist that into marry, fucking, kill. So Mary will be like, yeah, let's keep doing this for the rest of our lives. Fuck will be like, you know what? I enjoyed that, but let's leave that to the pandemic. And Kill will be like, God, dear God, no. No, God, no. Let's fucking never do that again.
No! God, no! Michael Scott.
So I have, I believe, 24 things that we did in the pandemic. We'll do them in groups of 3. They're not in any particular order. I tried to randomize them as much as possible, so... It might be that there are 2 similar things in a category together, but we're just going to go through. So it's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different marry, fuck, kills.
Hate.
All right. In the pandemic, as a society, we made our own bread for a while. That was something that we started doing. People started taking up running. People who had never run before, they're like, well, suddenly got to do something. And a lot of people started running. And then a lot of people started cutting their own hair.
Oh, I already know.
You already know. So, okay, here's the thing. We have to agree on this. This has to be the Affable Idiots AAWY ranking together. It has to be the marry, fuck, kill together.
Okay.
So what's your proposal?
I think we should marry the running.
Okay, why's that?
Creating good new habits. Getting some exercise, that's good, makes you happy. You get those endorphins up. And as we learned on Grey's Anatomy, happy people don't kill people. Running makes you happy. Running creates endorphins. Endorphins make you happy. Happy people don't kill people. Grey's Anatomy. Long live the queen. The queen of Grey's Anatomy, not the English one.
Right.
Blah.
The racist family one.
Yeah, as if we were all surprised by that. Frickin' monarchies, mother truckers. Oh, there's a puppy outside. Sorry. Okay. So, I think that's a good habit. That's healthy. It's like good. It's not something you have to do all the time, but you get out and you can be with nature, and that can be fun. And you get some good sunshine. It's alone time, which throughout this pandemic, nobody's been getting a lot of alone time unless you live alone. In which case, maybe you're getting too much.
There's like
but,
all the alone time.
Although some people love that, so I think that's just a good habit. That's something. It's like, nobody can run for you.
Right. Okay.
Which leads me to my second point of we should fuck making bread.
Go on.
Because it's like, it's fun, right? It's like, oh yeah, making bread. It's new, it's different. Like, I'm gonna fuck that. But then you ultimately go back to Old Faithful and just buy your bread. Because when other people can make it for you, you don't have to deal with it. You're too busy running now. You're too busy. You're too busy
You're gonna
doing
run to the store, grab a loaf of bread.
Exactly. So it's like, I tried making my bread, a couple times. We tried a bunch of different positions of bread making. We've got regular
I had my own
loaf.
sourdough starter.
Yeah. You've got regular loaf. You've got the round sourdough. Sourdough round. Those are the positions. Different shapes, they're positions. And you made it, and it's good, and it's fun. But then you're like, Am I gonna start making my own breads forever? Am I never gonna buy more bread again? And that just feels to me like, maybe, but probably not. So, you're gonna fuck it and you're gonna have a really good time for a while. But ultimately you go back to what you know.
Okay. So that's your argument for fucking your bread.
Yes.
What about cutting your own hair? Why are we killing it?
We have professionals for that. Come on. You don't need to cut your own hair. I get, in the pandemic, you need to. I get it. Totally get it. I cut Casey's hair some while he was gone. Nobody touched my hair. I just pulled it back all the time. You just, took care of the sides and the back, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But we have professionals who are trained to give us good haircuts, to make us look good. Not like we've been in a pandemic and quarantined and we just took a razor or what do you call them?
Clippers.
The clippers to our hair to try something. No, it's okay. Let's leave it with the pandemic. So let's kill it.
Okay, I think I'm in agreement with you on this one. I'm not the type of person to make my own bread. Couldn't give a shit about it. Everyone else who did it was obnoxious to me. They're like, look at me, I'm gonna make bread. Oh yes. I got my own sourdough starter. It's like my baby. I'm just letting it.
Sourdough starter.
It was like a huge
You probably
gift
have
for
to
people.
let some sort of a thing grow, like
You
people
do.
who make their own. What's that thing everybody drinks that's fermented and tastes
Kombucha.
disgusting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the same people who made their own bread are the same ones who preach about kombucha. But they're like, I have this sourdough starter molding in this mason jar, and I can't wait to make it. And then they're like, oh, banana bread. I'm going to make my own banana bread. I'm like, fuck all of you stupid, pretentious pieces of shit.
Right. But guess what? Today, Casey and I, when we were walking the dog, we went to the local market, the L&M, which is at Lincoln and Montrose. Get it?
Oh,
Get it?
shit, I
L&M.
get it.
And bought a really good loaf of sourdough that we didn't even have to make. It was so good.
So I think I agree with you. Obviously, exercise is good, something you should do all the time. Making your own bread, fine. Do you be obnoxious about it for a month and then everyone forgot about it?
Experiment. People like to experiment sexually.
Cutting your own hair, it's like you had to do it. There are some people who do it on a regular basis. I said do.
Casey used to cut his hair on a regular basis, and I've seen the pictures.
we need to get back to letting the professionals do that.
Love
So
you
we're gonna
for
marry,
hearing.
take up running. We're gonna fuck, make our own bread, and we're gonna cut our own hair. Never again. Kill it.
That feels good
All
to
right.
me.
Number 2, round 2. Tiger King.
Okay.
Stop cutting our hair like you and I chose to do. We're just like, oh, no,
Yep.
we're just going to let this grow for a year. And working from home. What are we marrying? What are we fucking? What are we killing?
I feel like I could marry working from home because
okay.
it makes, so I haven't hated the working from home. It makes things easier as far as like, especially like commuting times and like, especially because not everybody works, myself included, a very specific, I start at this time, I end at this time every day. Like,
Right.
a lot of people have shifts that rotate, like me. And so sometimes I have to get up and be at work at 7. And when I have to commute, that means I'm getting up before the butt crack of dawn. Other times, I don't get off work until 8 p.m. And then that means it's super late, and it's like way past dinner time by the time I'm home. Then, you clean up dinner, take your shower, go to bed. You have no evening. And that also makes things difficult when your partner works regular hours, like a standard, I start at this time and I end at this time. So what I like about the working from home is your commute is better, so you don't have to be getting up at the butt crack of dawn and getting home super late. You just get up, you do your work, and then you're done. It's better that way. And post-pandemic, like, we can still be getting out and doing social things, because most
Right.
of what I enjoyed about being out and not at home was not work at all. So every now and then after work, colleagues would be like, let's go get a drink. But honestly, so many of us work, we work on these rotating shifts. Nobody could go meet up for drinks that much because, like, one person would get off at 3:30 and then somebody else who might want to hang out doesn't get off until 8. What are you going to do?
Disgusting.
Yeah, exactly. So I like it because it's easier. It broadens the jobs that people can do because, maybe there's a job in another state that is really suited to you, but you don't want to move there or currently live there. Like one of my best friends, she works for a company based in Atlanta, but she lives in Raleigh. And it's great. It's perfect. So I think I'll marry that. Stop cutting your hair. Feels like something I've always done, Like, I've gone longer than a year before. I've gone 2 years without cutting my hair. And it sucks, and I shouldn't do it. But sometimes things happen, and you can't get your hair cut. And you're not gonna cut it yourself. But you're just like myself, I was like, I'm not going to do it.
And we've already decided that we're killing that option anyway.
Yeah, we've already decided. And like with a hairstyle like yours, where you like to keep it short on the sides, that's like sort of, I assume, it seems like it's an easier thing to maintain because you can sort of, where you don't want to cut because that's long hair and you could just pull that back. And the rest of it, you could just take your clippers to and just trim it up. And your neck and your wings, like I used to do for you. Yep. So I think maybe I could fuck that. I'm really torn between Tiger King and this. Like, Tiger King was really enjoyable. So I honestly feel like, no, you know what? I think we should fuck Tiger King. Because Tiger King seems like a fun lay as a show, not as a person.
I think, there are parts of this that I wasn't on board with, but now I am on board with. Working from home, I fucking hate. I hate it. And I cannot wait to get back in the office and see people in real life and talk about things other than work. I get that because
you're not the type of person who goes out after work, right? Like, you're the type of person that goes to work and that's where you're social. And maybe you'll like have dinner or something after, maybe, like hardly ever. And then you'd come home and then like do stuff at home and play games with friends online and stuff like that. So yeah, I can totally understand. I totally understand that.
But compared to the other two, like I don't think we need more Tiger King, so I don't want to marry that. Stop cutting your hair. It's like it's really, really off-putting to see like executives at high-level companies completely disheveled and looking like they're in the middle of a war, and it's like, no.
I think we should just make a plan or make an effort to get our hair cut consistently.
Yep.
It's just the best MO.
But I think you're right about working from home. It's like we've learned a lot as a country, as a world, that there are a lot of things we can do from home that we didn't know we could do from home, and it enables a lot more people, a lot more flexibility.
Especially people with children and things like that.
That's right. So we're going to marry work from home. We are going to kill stop cutting your own hair.
Yeah.
And we're going to fuck Tiger King. Because that was
yeah, I think it's going to be like a one-night stand. Yeah, it's going to be like a one-night stand with Tiger King. Like, okay, it was fun while it lasted. I got a little too drunk. Maybe accidentally snorted some cocaine in the bathroom on accident.
All right.
And I just woke up next to this television show.
Next up, I've got thoughts on this one. So the three are wearing a mask.
Okay.
Taco Bell temporarily getting rid of potatoes.
Okay.
And paying $20 for a movie at home.
Ooh. Do you want to tell me your thoughts?
Here's my thoughts. Wearing a mask, I'm done with it. Obviously, I'm still going to do it while the pandemic's on, but no, I never want to do that again. I don't want to normalize, oh, I'm sick, I've got the flu, so I'm going to wear a mask everywhere I go. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that again.
Oh.
I did it right for a year, and everyone else was fucking stupid about it. So I'm done trying to protect you from me because you were an idiot. So I'm saying let's kill wearing a mask. I'm saying fuck paying $20 for a movie at home.
Like you'll try it a few times.
Yeah, like it's a nice option for like big movies that you really want to see, and when theaters aren't a thing. But like it was good to do during the pandemic to hold us over. I like that HBO Max is doing their thing all year where they're releasing all the Warner Bros. Movies, but But there's nothing that compares to going to a movie theater, and I don't want to be looking at my phone. I don't want to be distracted by a dog. I don't want to have sunlight glaring on the screen. I want that movie theater experience. I'm ready for that to come back, and that's the way you're intended to see movies. If you're one of those people who's like, oh, I'll wait for it to come to Netflix, and it's like, cool, you don't get the $20. You don't get to see it on day one. Taco Bell temporarily getting rid of potatoes. Never ate potatoes there anyway. Also, potatoes at a fast food restaurant that aren't French fries, you can get out. Potato wedges, no. Potatoes in a burrito, no, thank you. So,
but KFC's potatoes and gravy, that's the tits. But at a taco joint, I'm okay without them. Yeah.
So I'm saying let's marry getting rid of potatoes. Like, that's okay.
Yeah.
At Taco Bell. Yeah. That's my argument. How do you feel?
I think I fully and entirely agree with you, except for one thing. But I'm not suggesting we change the order. I think we keep the order. The only thing that I am like, I don't know, is with the masks. When I think from here on out, when I get sick and still have to be out in public, like if I'm on public transit or working in an office with somebody, I will probably wear a mask.
I'm just not going to go.
Well, yeah, I'm going to try not to go. Yeah, that's what I'm going to try to do. But, sometimes, you get a cold and the cold lasts forever and you never really know if you're contagious. I don't know. I might, and I'm like, okay, well, I have to go to work. So what I'll probably do is, like, wear a mask on public transit and stuff. But, I mean, like, generally like they do in Asia and stuff. It just, especially, they really do it in Japan. I know that. It's just like when you're ill, if you're living in a, not living in a, where am I coming from with that? Like, if you still have to go out to work, but you have a cold or something. Like if I have the flu, I'm not going anywhere. If it's a cold and you can't really call out sick, or, you've had it for several days and like, I don't know if I'm contagious. I'm probably going to wear one just to be safe. I just feel like, okay, I want to avoid, I don't know. I hate being sick, and I get sick a lot.
You do.
I catch everything, and I
can't remember a time you were healthy.
Yeah, until this year.
Until this year. All that mask wearing. So maybe mask wearing's a little bit more important. But we're still killing it.
But no, I still think we should kill it when the time is right, obviously. Yes. But I do think I'll probably still, from time to time, when I'm under the weather, or like if I'm sick and I have to go to the grocery store or the drugstore or something, like if Casey's out of town or being a jerk and won't go for me. I'm just kidding. He would never be like that. And I have to go. I'd wear a mask probably, just to be safe.
Yep. Round 4.
But I agree with you.
Ordering food with delivery apps.
Okay.
Zoom. Just in general, Zoom. And TikTok dances. I had never even, like, literally when March came around, people were like, all these Zoom tips. Well, I was like, what the fuck is Zoom? I've never heard of you before. And now suddenly you're like, how? Thank God the pandemic started, like, jump-started their business. Otherwise, they would have went under.
So my company pre-pandemic used Zoom for like webinars and things like that. It's good for that. That you have to pay for. So my company, I work in travel, said, let's do everything we can. That's free. So now we use Microsoft Teams, and it sucks. But whatever. Whatever, it's fine. Like, Zoom, I think, is good for, for the company that you work for. And, like, my company. So companies that are global, or at least national. And so you're not all just in one place. If you have a webinar, or you need to have some sort of, like, a training or something like that, it's good for that. I also like it, and granted, we didn't do this pre-pandemic, but a bunch of my girlfriends from college, we started to have Zoom meetings, Zoom hangouts, every so often throughout the pandemic, just to catch up and see how see how everybody's doing, which is great for me because all of them still live in North Carolina and got to see each other and hang out all the time, and I hadn't seen some of them in years or even talked to them in years. So I loved that. Zoom meetings and stuff. I don't know. If we're going to be working from home, though, like if we're marrying work from home, I feel like we need to keep Zoom.
That's right. We are marrying work from home. Yeah. I think those two go hand in hand. Oh, so here's the other thing. Ordering food with delivery apps. And then TikTok dances.
Let's just kill TikTok dances. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about glizzies.
Got a fresh glizzy.
I don't care. Like, I don't not like TikTok dances, but I don't care. So let's kill them. Okay. I want to, in some ways, keep ordering with delivery apps. So, like, can we, like, fuck those, but also, like, have a continuous long-term affair with them?
We can say maybe that being our sole method of getting food, we can say fuck it.
Yeah.
Because, during the pandemic, like it was either ordering with delivery apps or you cook at home.
Yeah.
Nope. So like maybe well, now we can eat at restaurants. Now we can do takeout. Now we can do whatever. So maybe we say fuck ordering food with delivery apps. Because like that was a good thing that we did for a while, but like it's time to move on.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Zoom we marry.
Because we're marrying work from home, we should probably marry Zoom.
Okay, you're right.
It's not going to be a fun marriage, but it's a good marriage. It's a marriage of business. It's Bill and Hillary Clinton. Yeah.
Because we had a kid called working from home, we're now going to stay married to Zoom.
Yep, exactly. It's just the way it goes sometimes.
All right, round 5. We have working out at home, washing our hands a lot, and hoarding toilet paper and paper towels.
Well, let's kill that one, just off the bat.
Killing that one? Okay.
Yeah. Because people have been doing this, and I've been having to deal with shitty puffs or worse. Some off-brand.
You have a vendetta against anything that's not Kleenex.
I do. I'm telling you, Kleenex corners the market. It's so good. I love Kleenex. But like we've had to deal with like the really shitty like Scott toilet paper that's like.
Oh God.
You hold it up and you go. You just do a light blow on it, and it shreds and disintegrates. It's awful. We've had to deal with that. Yeah. We've also had to deal with, like, really shitty paper towels that don't absorb anything, and they're super thin, and they're awful. Like,
and they have, like, that plasticky, like, waxy feel to them. Like, come on.
It's awful. So I want to kill that.
Yeah, I'm okay with killing that for sure.
Yeah, if we kill that, I'm not going to have to use puffs. Unless.
Nope.
Unless that's all our only option at the location. But
can I propose?
In that case, I'm never shopping there again.
Can I propose fucking working out at home?
What was
it was
the third
cute.
option?
The third option is washing our hands a lot.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like, working out at home was like a cute necessity we had to do. Like, oh my God, look, I can buy dumbbells. Or, oh my God, look, I got a yoga mat. And, like, oh, I can do high intensity interval training in my living room. Look at this mirror that tells you all of these things and coaches you. Like, that's cute for staying at home, but, like, let's go back to the real way things were done. Like, I miss that.
Yeah. I agree. I like being able to work, to have that at home. It's good. It's nice. It's easy. It's cheaper for a lot of people in the long term, I think. But also a lot of people, their careers are working at gyms. That's how they make their living.
Yep.
And during this pandemic, I know a lot of people who work at gyms who have been out of work. So we got to get them back.
Obviously, washing your hands a lot, that's important. We're going to marry that. No one wants your boogers, your food, your subway, the food and the transit. We don't want that all over us. We don't want you sneezing into your hands and being like, hey, nice to meet you. So yeah, wash your hands, people.
I totally
marry
think,
that for the rest of our
completely
lives.
agree. We should all be washing our hands more. I'm wondering if my internet's messing up.
You had a little bit of a glitch,
Can
but
you
now
hear
I
me
can
okay?
see. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, cool. I was afraid my internet was missing. It's like, oh no, what's going on? No, I completely agree. Everybody should be washing their hands more. I know it sucks and it might dry your hands out, but that's why there are literally millions of different hand lotions. Try them all, find which one works best for you, and buy it in bulk.
Oh, mama needs them.
You know? Mama needs some face lotion. Yeah, I agree. It's like, and I know we realized that this virus is less picked up by touching things on your hands, but the flu, most of the common cold, so many of the things that just get us day to day in the regular world, it comes from touching things, sneezing on things, and then the particles go, and then you touch it, and then eat your hand, and now you're sick.
You eat your hand. All right.
So, yeah,
number 6
I completely
of 8.
agree.
Perfect. Number 6 of 8. Zoom movies and Zoom reunion episodes. Where the whole movie or the whole, like, oh, we're going to do a reunion with the Parks and Rec cast over Zoom. That's number 1. Vin Diesel branching out into music and also creating video games is number 2. And then the last one is online games with friends, where there's video games, trivia, escape rooms, that kind of stuff.
We should probably marry that one because, I've got friends that aren't local. And, even before this, Casey and I would do, via Zoom, hangouts with his brother and his brother's fiance. Because they live in the Pittsburgh area, we live here. We've done that with his family and with some other people. That's fun. For Casey's birthday, we did that, but of course that was during a pandemic. But still, so that's fun, and it's a good way to continue to be able to hang out with friends that don't live where you live. That's fun and good. So I think we should probably marry that.
I agree with you about that. Yes, we'll marry online games with friends.
And then, so the other 2 were Zoom reunions and movies. And what was the other one?
Vin Diesel branching out into music and video games.
Okay, I feel like that should be killed, but I don't know what video games he did. And there's only one Zoom movie reunion-y thing that I liked, and it was that movie, I told you about it. What was it called?
Oh, you're gone, girl. You're gone. Oh, you're back. I can hear you.
Oh, did I go away for a second?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Okay, you're back.
I wonder if Casey's playing a video game and it's just using up too much of the internet. Host is the name of this movie.
Yes, we watched Host. It was pretty good.
I loved it. It spooked the shit out of me. I thought that movie was great. Other than that, all the reunions and the Tiger King reunion thingy and they all had the AirPods in. It's like, oh gosh. Yep. This is
all
A, an advertisement, and B, it's awful.
I hated it.
So maybe we kill that.
Here's what I'm
and
going to say. I'm going to say we kill the Zoom movies in the episodes.
Yeah.
And because those were all horrible. All of them were horrible, and they were so cringy. And then Vin Diesel, like, he came out with
That's
two
fun.
songs.
He's having a good time living his best life.
Yeah,
I could fuck that. I could fuck with that.
Your song was like half of a bop. I can admit that. The second song was more of a bop than the first. But like that was cute for a while. Now let's get back to making Fast and Furious
so
movies.
awkward though. The thing you sent me.
His Kelly Clarkson reveal. Oh God.
And that was awful because that was on her like Zoom talk show, and they had the people
Exactly. Yes. Just dancing in the background on the screens.
Yeah, that's dead. We're killing it. That's decided. And Vin Diesel, we're gonna fuck. We're gonna fuck his music, and we're gonna fuck his video game. That's news to me. I didn't know about that.
He's executive producing a video game called Ark Survival 2, and he's like starring in it too.
It could be good. I don't know.
It's one of the first one is one of the biggest games on the planet. I don't play it, but some people do. All right, number 7.
Cool.
Paying attention to the CDC. Something most of us never did before this pandemic.
Yeah.
Making everything cake.
What?
You know, we had those couple of weeks where, like, you would be like, oh, look at that video of an apple. And then someone would cut into it. Oh, my God, it's cake. Or look at this
like
person's
realistic,
face. And
like
cut
somebody
into it. Oh, my
cut
God,
into
it's
this
cake.
dog.
Look at this tissue
Yeah,
box.
yeah,
Oh, my
yeah.
God, it's cake.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that.
Yep. And then growing a beard. That's what everyone's like, all right, fuck it, we're in a pandemic. I'm going to let it grow. Similar to like their hair.
What was the first one?
Paying attention to the CDC.
I love beards, though. I was going to say we should marry the paying attention to the CDC, because that just seems like good practice. But also, Casey has a beard, and I love it. It's a cool beard.
I'm gonna
Am I
say
frozen again? What the fuck is going on with my internet?
paying attention to the CDC. Are you still there? You're frozen on my screen. Can you hear me?
Connection was
No,
lost.
You're dead. You're dead now. You're a dead little Mary Poppins.
Oh, boy.
You've got
Not
to
even
go
recording
to
anymore.
take
Hello.
it.
Maybe it is. Dingleberries.
Hi,
I'm saying
everyone.
dingleberries.
We're going to take a very short
Is this
intermission
getting
while we get this worked out. We'll see you in a moment.
Oh, do. Let's hop back.
And we're back. Hey, everyone. Jessie's having some internet troubles, which is why she's going to be a tiny little alien on the screen for a little bit. Here's
I'll
my
get
argument.
my head really close.
What?
Yeah. I said I'll get my head really close and my body really far away, so it looks like I'm a big-headed, tiny alien.
Yes, very good. Here's my argument for fucking paying attention to the CDC.
Okay.
We did all right without it. I mean, it was there, and the people who needed to pay attention to it did. But we don't, as a regular species of people, have to pay attention to the CDC to survive
As a
and blossom.
species of people.
Yes.
The other species of people probably should pay attention.
Yes. We can survive with our regular knowledge and best practices. But when it comes time for another pandemic, yeah, let's pay attention again. Let's not turn it into a political issue, and let's just listen. So that's my argument for fucking the CDC.
We have 2 ears and 1 mouth. That's what I learned in school growing
I
up.
can fit both my ears in my one mouth if I were to cut them off.
Yeah, I was like, show me.
So then we have, if we're gonna fuck the paying attention to the CDC, we have making everything cake and growing a beard left. And I think I'm with you. I've discovered that like I finally let my beard grow out enough that like
But
I think I might marry it.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Growing a beard is something that is only possible for a certain percentage of this specific species of people.
That's true. This species of people.
But I do love beards. So from the perspective of I love beards and want to see more beards, and not from the perspective of I want to grow a beard, because I don't. In fact, whenever I've got whiskers under here that come in that I hate, and I'm 32 and I don't want no whiskers.
Grow them out, girl.
Just grow out. I have like 4 whiskers, just really long, just 4 of them. Yeah, let's marry beards.
And
I want to marry beards. And
making everything a cake.
yeah, because why? Why?
I bet it was delicious,
Who
though.
cares?
Actually, it probably wasn't delicious because everything was probably made of fondant, and that's not delicious. That's disgusting.
Fondant. Everything's probably
Fondant.
fondant. Yeah, and fondant's not as good as icing and frosting. That's the good shit. Yeah, I'm
All
with
right,
you.
final one. Oh, sorry, I forgot to write in here. We are fucking paying attention to the CDC. Final one.
Fuck
cheering for essential workers at 7 p.m. every day, outdoor dining, talking more with family.
Oh, this is tough.
That's a tough one, yeah. Again, I didn't pair these together to make it tough. It just happened to be that way.
Oh, that's tough. It's good to cheer for essential workers, but I don't think we have to do it at 7 p.m. every day once the pandemic is over. So maybe we kill that.
Ooh, you hate essential workers.
I don't.
No.
That's
No,
the problem.
So here's my hot take on it. It was a cool showing of support, but it didn't actually do anything. It didn't, like, it gave them maybe a morale boost, like, oh my God, people are cheering for me. But, like, let's figure out ways that we can actually help the healthcare system and help our essential workers instead of just, like, putting
Clapping
lipstick on a pig and saying, I'm going to clap for you. Cool, I don't get paid with claps. My life isn't saved by claps.
Yeah. What if, though? Wouldn't that be great? But no.
So I'm going to agree with you. Let's kill cheering for essential workers at 7 p.m.
Yeah. I think that we should fuck speaking to family more, because not everybody loves their family like you and I do.
Oh, okay.
And everybody loves outdoor dining.
Just a matter of fact, everybody loves it. We need to keep it around forever.
Everybody loves it. Yeah. So that's my 2 pence. Get it? I'm English.
I get it, because you want Mike Pence to be both president and vice president. 2 pence.
That's a nightmare. That's a nightmare. Yeah, so that's where I'm going with this. I think we should marry outdoor dining because it's great, it's wonderful. I love it. Not when it's super cold out, but so long as you got a good heat, I'm okay, baby. And then just because not everybody loves speaking to their family or loves their family or even likes their family, maybe we just fuck that. So, like, those of us who really like it, we can just have a continuous ongoing affair with it. And others who don't can, like, try it and be like, I don't know if that's for me, you know?
Sure, okay. I gotta admit,
What do you think?
I was flip-flopped on these. I was like, fuck outdoor dining, marry talking with your family more. But as I started thinking about it. Yeah, as I started thinking about it, though, when I do go out to a restaurant, I do often prefer to be outside if that's an option. I like to have conversations and hear people, which is often difficult to do inside of a restaurant with all the busy noise and chatter and bands and music.
A lot of people bring their pets for outdoor dining, so you can see animals.
Yep, animals are real.
Animals are real.
And as long as you live in a good area for outdoor dining, you know, with big sidewalks and reasonable climate, I think I'm okay with that. I think okay, we're going to marry outdoor dining, and we'll fuck talking with your family more. Like, it was good to talk with them every day, especially when the only topic of conversation is coronavirus. And when we don't have that every day, then we don't have to worry about talking with that every day, and we can go back to
perfect.
We'll talk once a year. Just kidding.
I love it.
Talk more than that. Okay,
I'm kidding.
that's it.
Yeah, I talk to my family at least once a week. It's the perfect amount.
We marry, fuck, killed the pandemic and all the things we've done inside of it, and that was a nice little journey, a good little trot. All right, Jesse.
Trot.
We're going to move on to our honest discussion where we just have a little talk about some kind of topic. Last week, we created our bucket lists. There was some travel on there. There's some good shit. So go back and listen to that episode. This week, we are ranking 12 pastas and 1 honorable mention. I'm going to turn it over to you to lead us through this discussion.
So there are a lot of pastas. Many, many more than are listed here on this list. Do you see the pastas? I put them in our shared note.
I just corrected farfalle was Bowie, like David Bowie. I just made it bow tie.
Oh, did I forget the T? Oopies. Oopies. So these are what I just sort of from a first glance thought, I think these are the best 12 pastas
Okay.
Most exciting, least boring, maybe, of
Okay.
all the pastas. Like, I didn't include angel hair.
Good.
I
Fuck
didn't,
angel hair.
you know, yeah, it's like, come on. And there were some other ones the blue box macaroni. What brand is that?
Kraft macaroni and
Kraft.
cheese. Yeah.
Like those macaronis. I didn't include that specific shape. I did include elbows though, because that's the good shit. So what we have here are 12 pastas plus the honorable mention of the cascatelli that you introduced earlier today. So I'm just going to read through this list and the description of it for our listeners, and then we'll just rank them what we think is, number 1 the best, down to number 13 the worst.
Okay.
So this is really the best of the best, though. Nobody loses here.
If you get any of these pastas, you're gonna have a good night.
You're gonna have a good night. So my list, in no particular order, is farfalle, which is the bow tie pasta. I love it. It's fun. Number 2 is rotini. It's the ones that you often see in like a cold pasta salad. They're about 2 inches long and a spiral.
Right. They kind of look like a drill bit, maybe.
Yep. They kind of look like a drill bit.
Like an oil drill, perhaps. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, exactly. And then we've got next we're going into our tube shapes. You've got penne, which is a thin tube but cut on a slant.
Like a rhombus.
So, exactly.
Okay.
Then you've got ziti, which is about the same thickness, like in width, but
Right.
cut flat.
Right. Now,
And
here's,
then you
here's
have-
a point of differentiation between the two. Penne often has ridges, whereas ziti is flat all the way around. Is that correct?
Yes, penne does have ridges. Yes. I think it does usually. I should have put that in the list. I believe you are correct. I'm just going to look up a picture. Are you familiar with what a picture is?
I think you mean a photografia.
A fotografia? Yes, they do have little ridges. They sure
Yes.
do. All
Just
the way
like
down.
ruffles.
And they're so cute. They look like, the way they're cut on a slant, it looks like they're like a needle point, like for when you get a shot.
Ah, sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Then we've got rigatoni, which is fat. It's a fat pasta.
It's a good old big fat pasta.
In width. And then they're also cut
it also
flat,
has
but they
ridges.
also have ridges.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's fatter than penne, and it's cut flat, but they both are ridged. Well, see, I like to think of penne more as ribbed for her pleasure, and rigatoni is more ridged.
Look up
Like ridged for
orecchiette.
his pleasure. Let's see. Or, no, I guess they're actually pretty much the same. They're the same. Okay, they're both ribbed for her pleasure. This is not child-friendly. But it's a much wider tube. It's better for getting the sauce inside. It's a delicious, delicious pasta. Next, we have orecchiette. These are great pastas. I love this pasta. It stands for ears, because they look kind of like ears. I think they look more like those Pop-Top toys you used to get
Like
as kids.
the ones where you're like, they're like a little rubber
You flip
half
them inside
circles.
out. And you flip them inside out, and then you set it down, and you wait for it to pop up and shoot up into the air.
Yeah.
Are you looking at a picture of them?
I'm looking at pictures of orecchiette. Is that how you pronounce it?
I think so. Orecchiette.
It kind of looks like if you were to take a shell pasta and like flatten it out a little bit. It still has a little bit of the hump in
Yep.
there. Or like a nice.
It's a
like
little bit thicker.
If you took like
like
a
in the
women's
noodle.
floppy sun hat and made it about the size of
Yes.
a quarter.
Yes. They're
Yeah.
so good. It's a great pasta.
Okay.
The next one we have is conchiglie, which is shells. Like when you think of like Velveeta,
Velveeta mac and cheese. Yes.
cheese
okay.
and shells, that's the shell.
Okay.
And then now we've got the long pastas. So we've got linguine, which is like thin in width and flat. So it's flat but thin, and this is a long pasta.
Okay.
Then you have fettuccine, which is basically the same thing but wider.
I didn't realize how thin linguine was.
It's super thin, isn't it?
When I think of linguine, I always think of fettuccine.
See, when I think of linguine, I always think of ratatouille.
The only time I don't think I've ever had linguine, but I did a scene from Grumpy Old Men once. Oh, sorry, not Grumpy Old Men. The other John Lemon and Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau movie, The Odd Couple.
Dennis the
I did a scene
Menace?
from The Odd Couple. Dennis the Menace. No, I did a scene from The Odd Couple once in drama class, and it's the one where he throws the linguine on the wall. And
to see if it's al dente?
Walter Matthau's like, threw the spaghetti on the wall. And Jack Lemmon goes, it's linguine! Or something like that. That's all I know about linguine.
Are they an odd couple because they're a gay couple and they couldn't say that?
No,
I'm not familiar with that show.
Odd Couple is a stage play that was then made into a movie with Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. And it's just two old men, or like middle-aged to older men, who have to live together. And one of them's really messy and one of them's a clean freak.
Okay, that sounds like a fun movie.
They don't get
and
along.
Show.
Antics ensue.
Antics.
Okay, so linguine and fettuccine are basically the same. That they're flat, long noodles, but linguine is much thinner. Fettuccine is a fatter flat.
Exactly, a fatter flat. Okay. Then we have the traditional spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
It's round. It's thin. It's like a thin diameter. And, of course, it's long.
Yep.
It's Old Faithful. It's good.
Old Faithful.
Old Faithful. Next.
You want to know a fun fact?
Yes.
I grew up on angel hair pasta.
Thinking it was spaghetti? I did.
Here's another fun fact. Any type of pasta, my family just refers to as spaghetti, no matter what shape it is. More often than not, we had angel hair. But, like, we knew, we had shells, we had rigatoni. Like, we knew they were different, but, like, we just colloquially called it spaghetti. I didn't know that like, spaghetti was its own thicker noodle until I was maybe in my late teens. When I was like, oh, man, I didn't realize angel hair was so much thinner than spaghetti. And angel hair's bullshit.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. I also grew up on angel hair pasta thinking it was synonymous with spaghetti.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's not at all. Our next pasta is orzo. I love this pasta. It looks like rice. It's a little bit bigger than a grain of rice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had it.
Oh, it's great. It's just like it's a really interesting texture. I love it. It's fun. It's very different. It's like not, you don't expect pasta to be that small. Yeah. That's a small pasta. It's fun.
Probably cooks really quickly.
Well, oh yeah, I bet. And not lastly, penultimately, we've got elbows. So that's what they call it, but it's like the traditional, like that's what all the boxes call them.
When you make elbows. A macaroni portrait or a macaroni drawing for mom and dad, that's what you think of.
Exactly. You're using elbows. They're much more bent than the Kraft noodle would be. Yeah. And they're thicker. They're wider in diameter. It's a great pasta. You can use that. You could put that with almost anything. You could do it with a really good macaroni. You could do it with any deliciousness. It's multi-versatile. It's versatile. Multifaceted. And lastly, we have cascatelli, which is the new one that you told me about.
I just learned about it 2 days ago.
It looks like one of those traditional sleds that it's like
sleigh.
Flat and then it curves up at the front. Yeah, like Santa's sleigh, and it curves up at the front. And then on the bottom, it looks like it's got the little swimmy things, like the what do you call the things that color guard use? Ribbons.
Ribbons?
It looks
I'm
like
putting
these
a picture of it on
things.
our stream right now. So if anyone's watching, you can see it. And it just blocks
like,
all of our face. There we go.
Yes. So the top of it looks like the sled. The bottom of it looks like the ribbon swimmy bits on the sides of a Nautilus, if you guys know what that looks like. It's
or like
specific.
The frills on a tutu.
Or the frills, yeah, that's so much easier. Why can't I just say that? The frills of a tutu. And then it produces a bit of a what's it called? The things that I'm having such a brain fart. The trenches where the soldiers fought, right?
Yes,
The trenches.
yes.
There's a trench in between them that holds the sauce.
Yes. So you can think like maybe even a candy cane shape.
Yeah.
A candy cane with trenches down its back
It's too
and
easy.
some frilly tutus on the sides.
It's too easy a description. It's too easy a description.
No, we have to say it's like a sled with this fish no one's ever heard of and World War I trenches.
In World War I trenches. Oh, man. Yep, that's me. Making things too difficult. Just another day. So,
You've also been tiny long
Off
enough that
the
I'm officially
bat.
going to make you bigger, so you're welcome.
okay, make me bigger. Baby.
Boom, you're bigger. All right. That's
that's what she
the
said.
set of
Is that a fat
pastas.
joke?
That's what we're working with.
I love it. So, right off the bat, do you have any thoughts? Or
Yes, I have-
substitutions?
I have
Is there
thoughts.
a pasta that you really wanted on here that's not on here?
No, I think this is a good coverage of all the pastas. I think my ranking of these is going to be heavily influenced, not solely influenced, but heavily influenced by what we see as the purpose of the pasta. My view of the purpose of a pasta is that it is there as a vehicle for sauce. Whatever sauce you've chosen to put on it, we need that to transmit the sauce effectively to our mouths while also providing some texture.
Yeah.
So, like, right off the bat, I can use that to rule out some of these or place them at the bottom of the list because some are better at carrying sauce than others.
Yeah,
what's
that's
your
true.
view on that take?
I agree with you on that. I do, but the only thing that's going to be a bit of a I don't know though, because I don't even know where I'd put orzo. Because orzo's so small, you get it on with a fork, and usually with orzo, your sauce is a little bit thicker because of the it's not like a thin sauce, so you can eat it with a fork and you get a really fun mouthful of pasta and sauce and deliciousness. It's like eating a gooey rice, but
Yeah.
even better. That's the only one that I'm like, it's not really a conduit for sauce, but still really good.
But it kind of is. I mean, there's not really an instance where you scoop up orzo and you get no sauce with it.
And you just eat, yeah, exactly.
And you just eat noodles.
That's a good point.
You know, some of these like farfalle. It's a fun noodle. It has some ridges in it, but there's so often where you'll
I
stab
love
it,
but
and you get very little sauce.
Yep. I mean, I love farfalle. The child in me loves farfalle, but it's not a very good conduit for sauce. It's so pretty though.
Here's another thing about farfalle is that I find that more often than not, it is not brittle because it's not hard, but it falls apart easier than most other pastas, and I'm not a fan of that.
It becomes less bow tie-y.
It does.
Because like the ends come off or like break in half or something. Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm saying
totally
we
with you.
go like right off the bat. Farfalle is going towards the bottom of this 12.
Let's put it in the bottom. Let's do it.
Let's put it in the bottom. That's what she said.
That's what she said. I'm gonna make a list here. I'm doing a bad job. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 12 again. That's 122. That's 13. There we go. Okay, so farfalle goes at the bottom. The bottom. Now, let's see. Orchetti is one. Casey said, if Orchetti isn't in one of the top 2, I'm going to be pissed.
Oh, one of the top 2. Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah, that's his favorite. But that's not a reason for us to put it there if we don't agree. But just so you know, he's going to be pissed. I do actually really love that pasta. It's fun to eat. But let's see. What do we think is first? Do you have
so
a
here's
preference?
Here's my bias. I love me some fucking rigatoni.
It's so good.
I love rigatoni. I don't know, looking at this long list, if it's the best pasta, but it's the one that I always want is rigatoni.
I love rigatoni. We often have pasta with rigatoni. It holds good sauce.
The ridges kind of help you do that. You can also sometimes, if you're having like
And
a meat
all
sauce,
up inside that tube.
all up in them guts. If you have like the meat
I
sauce, you
love
can get
it.
little chunks of meat in the rigatoni.
Oh, sometimes Casey's made a pasta once with like I think it was like green beans and rigatoni, and there was some other stuff, but there were just green beans in the pasta.
Yeah.
And so frequently, I'd pick up a rigatoni, and there was a green bean just all the way through it,
Surprise.
and I loved it.
Yep.
So I think rigatoni is probably the best.
We'll
you
start
think
out
the
at number
best?
1. Yeah, let's start it out at number 1, and we might reconsider as we talk through some of these.
We can absolutely move these. You know, I'm not married to any of this. I'm not going to fuck it or kill it. Full circle. But, you know, we'll get there. And we'll be married to this shortly. Now, next. I don't know. Let's see. Elbows are good, but they're fine. It's not a noodle you're going to use as frequently as you might use some of these other ones.
Right.
It's
and
pretty
oftentimes the elbow, this is also a problem that I have with ziti, oftentimes the elbow is a smooth noodle rather than a ridged noodle, and sauce just falls right off.
Yeah, and there's not much you can do with it, much like with a ziti, other than make baked ziti with ziti and make macaroni and cheese with elbows. There's really not, I mean, I'm sure you could, but why would you when you've got all these other really good pastas? So, do we think maybe 11 and 12 in some order should be ziti and elbows for now, or do you think maybe not that low?
Let's start that low, and we can
Okay.
adjust from there. I'm gonna say ziti is above at 11, and elbows is at 12.
I was gonna agree with you on that. Definitely. Okay, perfect. Now, let's see. No. Let's talk about the long pastas. Sorry, that was me thinking.
Wonderful. Okay.
Now, I think maybe they should go, at least in my opinion, maybe more towards the bottom. I don't know. Because, I mean, they make really good dishes. And the flat ones, I feel like, are better for sauce. Because when you spin it up, the flat, it's easier to hold sauce flat to flat than it is like with a spaghetti round on round.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like trying to walk on a 2x4 versus trying to walk on a pipe.
Exactly.
If you are the sauce.
If you are the sauce. If you are a sauce. Exactly. Think of it in those terms. Yep. So, I don't know. I might put spaghetti at 10. I'm just kind of bored by spaghetti. Honestly,
You know what else
I might
about
even
spaghetti?
put spaghetti below ziti.
I'm on board with that, and then here's why. 2 things. 1, spaghetti, it's boring. You have to spin it up. That's a lot of work. You have to do the spoon. You have to slurp it. Gets all over your face. It also, Alto, Balto, Alto, Age of Ultron, Oliver Twist. It also is really, really hard to judge portion size. You often get way too much. You eat too much. You feel like a garbage truck. Or you don't get enough, and then you're like, what was I thinking? Because you're like, I'm going to be really good, and I'm going to make 7 little strings of it. And I'm like, fuck, that was only one bite. Yeah.
It's bad.
Spaghetti. Above elbows, though, I definitely agree.
Yeah.
So definitely at 11 for
I
spaghetti.
agree, right? Because spaghetti's at least a little bit more versatile
Yeah.
as far as the pastas that you can, or the dishes that you can make with it. But then I think, I don't know. See, conchi is much more exciting to me.
And that's the shells, for anyone who's
that's the
a
shells.
peon.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's much more exciting to me, especially when comparing it to elbows and stuff, in terms of a macaroni and cheese dish. But also, you can do so many other things. I mean, it's a shell, and it sort of folds in on itself. It's really good at holding in the pasta.
Exactly. Sometimes they're a little water balloon. You put it in your mouth, and you bite down. It's like poof, pops sauce everywhere. You're like, oh my god, I love this.
So good. I love it.
They are often ridged as well.
That's
for her pleasure.
Yeah. They really are. So I think, honestly, I think in some order, in my brain, in some order for 2, 3, and 4, I think conchigli, orzo, and orecchiette. And I listed those in no particular order, but I think those are my 2, 3, and 4. What are do you have an idea what your 2, 3, and 4 might want to be?
We're shells, the conchiglie. How are you saying that?
Conchiglie. So
Conchiglie.
in Italian,
Consigliere.
the GLI is ye. Consigliere.
Conchiglie.
Conchiglie.
The shells are definitely like top 3 for me somewhere. We're going to run into some issues where I've never had Orchidetti, I don't think, and I don't think I've ever had Orzo. So I don't have experience with them, but I can empathize with, and I can imagine, put myself in the shoes of that pasta and decide whether I'm good or bad.
In the shoes of the pasta.
Right.
Maybe then, for that reason alone, we put the shells second.
Let's put shells second for now.
It only seems right
sure.
that... It only seems right that 1 and 2, both of us have at least had.
Yeah.
Right?
Orzo, I think, might be in there at 3 for me because I can imagine. I think of it like it's not shaped the same, but I think of it like almost like a chunky oatmeal, and it's like every bite is like a big old chunky gooey yumminess, and you get the full flavor of all of it, and it holds all of the sauce really well.
I love it. It's such a good pasta. It seems like it's gonna be so boring, but I get excited every time it's around. I love it. Perfect. So Orzo will be 3rd. And then, let's see. Do you agree with Orchidetti going 4th, or are you still not feeling good about it? Was there another one you might want?
I'm not loving Orchidetti.
That's okay. We don't have to put it
for a lot
there.
of the same reasons.
Yeah. That's
Orchidetti
okay.
pasta. A lot of the same reasons where it is a flat pasta. It has a little dimple in it, but it doesn't look like it might be able to hold that much very well.
That's okay.
So I'm not in love with the idea of Orchidetti yet.
You know what, though? Penne is a really good pasta.
Penne is a good like go-to. It's like it's as well, versatile.
Yeah. It really is. I think maybe that's 4. We already have rigatoni. Yeah, rigatoni's 1.
If okay, what of these could be 4s that we haven't used yet? Penne, not rotini.
No, not rotini.
Not
Rotini
linguine.
is like, you pretty much only have like a cold pasta salad with rotini. That's like pretty much all you ever see it with.
The only thing that could possibly fettuccine is high, but I don't think it's going to beat penne. The only thing is the wild card that neither of us have had that seems like it's designed for pasta sauce, and that's the cascatelli, the candy canes with the frillies.
My only nervousness, well, I mean, no, because the pot, like rigatoni is open on both ends, but it's fully covered all the way around. What I'm nervous about with cascatelli is it's open on one side and at both ends. But that doesn't mean it's not going to stick because you've got the waves of the
trenches, the World War I trenches.
Nautilus ribbon. Yeah, exactly. So it could be really good. But is it better than penne? Maybe.
I don't think so. I don't think it's better than penne. I think you're right. The penne is maybe number 4.
I think penne is 4, and then maybe cascatelli is 5. Do you think maybe?
I don't know.
Still not sure.
It's the unknown. I'm trying to empathize with that noodle.
Yeah. Just really wish I could put myself in the shoes of this noodle, or in the box of this noodle. I did just have a thought. I think maybe we move ziti up to 9 and put rotini. No, maybe we move ziti to 9, spaghetti to 10, and put rotini in 11.
I'm okay with that. You heard me say,
do you agree?
Definitely not rotini, and you're like, good. I'm glad we're both in agreement that rotini kind of sucks.
Yeah, right? I love it when I'm having like a cold pasta or like an antipasto kind of a thing, but I don't have that frequently. And it's not something that I'm like, I really want this. Like with other pastas, I'm like, I could really go for this kind of a thing. I'm never like, oh yeah, I could really go for like a pasta salad. You know?
And with the rotini, there's so much negative space. It's all just like opportunities to lose the sauce, and that's what we're there for.
It really is. Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. Okay, perfect. So we've got 4 more we need to list here. As of right now, that would be for 5, 6, 7, and 8, subject to change. So what
And
we
those
have...
4 pastas are cascatelli, linguine, fettuccine, and orecchiette.
And orecchiette. Yeah. What are you feeling anything in particular?
In specific. Fettuccine has to be above linguine.
Agreed. Completely agreed. Fettuccine Alfredo used to be like my favorite thing.
Yeah. It has some of the same pitfalls as spaghetti, though. With the having to twirl it and the slurping.
As does linguine. Yeah. Maybe that's 7 and 8.
Here's my proposed.
Okay.
5 cascatelli, 6 fettuccine, 7 orecchiette, 8 linguine. I feel like fettuccine would be better at sauce holding than orecchiette.
I'm just not sure I concur, Doctor.
No?
Those are the only 2 I'm like, I don't know. Because orecchiette surprisingly does hold, not a lot at once, but you're not left with a ton of sauce on the plate. Now, you haven't had it, so that's, of course,
That's right. I'm again, still trying to put myself in the box of this pasta.
In the box. And that's something that's definitely, like, something to take into account, especially when doing this, the list. The only reason I'm really like, I don't know, is because thinking about myself now and pastas that I would go for given the choice, like specific dishes, I would be more inclined to go to an orecchiette. It's easier to eat. It still holds probably relatively the amount of sauce as a fettuccine, but smaller, and I don't have to twirl it and deal with potentially having to slurp it and get it all over my face.
Yeah.
That's really the only thing.
I'm with you.
Are you?
Yeah.
I want to make sure you're comfortable. Are you comfortable with this?
Thank you for making this a safe space. And I feel like I can speak my truth. I'm comfortable. Thank you.
You're comfortable? So
yes.
Cascatelli, did I spell that right? Cascatelli is 5. And then we said what? Orecchiette.
Orecchiette.
Am I spelling this right? Yeah. Okay. Orecchiette is 6. Fettuccine is 7. I didn't spell that right. 2 T's, 2 C's. There we go. And then linguine is 8. Do you feel confident? You feel good about this?
Casey's gonna be so mad, but I feel okay.
You've never had it, and that's part of it. Like, you can't. It's fine. It's fine. I came to hear this podcast, this podcast, with a list of pastas that you had no input on other than cascatelli. So it's not. Maybe you haven't had every pasta in the world, like he has. Who knows?
Who knows? He definitely has like 40 years on us.
Yeah, he does. That old fart. All right.
So here it is.
So the official. What is this podcast? I'm just kidding. And also with you, list of the 13 best pastas. Read them away.
Number 1, God tier pasta, rigatoni. Number 2, coming in pretty close, consigliere. How do I say this one?
Conchigli.
Conchigli. Shells. Number 3, orzo. That's the little rice ones. Number 4, penne. It's like the little rhombus ones with the ridges. They fit perfectly on the spears of the fork.
They do. They're so much fun to go and get them all on the fork.
Number 5, cascatelli. The sled one with the little fish Nautilus swimmer.
The Nautilus
fins,
ribbons and the trenches.
The World War I trenches.
Oh, jeez.
Number 6, orecchiette. That's the the little pop toys. Pop top toys.
Yep.
Number 7, fettuccine. That's the wide, flat, long noodles. Then we have linguine. That's the skinny, flat, long noodles.
I'm really enjoying the accent you're doing.
And then we have the ziti. That's the very smooth, round, square cut noodle.
Yep.
Then we have the spaghetti. That's the thicker angel hair. That's the tube, like, not tube because it doesn't have an inside, but like thread like spaghetti.
Yes,
We
perfect.
have the rotini. That's the spiral bullshit. We have the elbows. That's your macaroni. And then we have the farfalle and last at 13. That's the bow tie.
Or the
fickle
Bowie,
bow tie.
if you're
Or the
a
Bowie,
typo
the
like
David
me.
Bowie. It was a rousing discussion. I've learned about several new types of pasta, and now I want
Now
to
you have
really
to go
go
and
out and
try
try
them.
a few of these. Yeah.
You gotta. Once you've tried orzo and orecchiette, and if you try cascatelli, you gotta let me know.
Oh,
What you think?
I got a ciabatta.
You got a ciabatta regatta.
Rain
Forgot
got a
about
regatta. Thank you, Jesse, for that honest discussion. If you out there are listening and you're like, y'all, your ranking was so whack, here's the real ranking. Or you forgot about this pasta, let us know. Tweet at us at Affable Idiots on Twitter. Also, if you want to be on the show,
isn't in the top.
if you want to be on the show and argue your side of all of this honest discussion or healthy competition, go to affableidiots.com. There's a year of the guest. We would love to have more people on the show. We've had a guest once, right? Yeah, we've had one guest before. It was Matt. We have another guest coming up in a few weeks, also Matt.
Also Matt.
So yeah, we would love to have more people on the show, just have fun with. You can also check out our other content.
Pork
Chop, 118YT.
I'm trying to remember other people's.
DF and Smitty.
I can't remember all the handles. DF and Smitty.
Yeah.
All the others.
All the others. If you like this content and you want to get kind of similar stuff from us or our friends, go to Respawn Aim Fire for video game stuff. Check out our YouTube content. You can go to just affableidiots.com and it links to all of it there, including what we do and what our friends do. It's dope. Finally, before we wrap up every episode, we like to end every episode with a parting positive thought to send you off into the world thinking well. Here's the thought. The quote is from Richard Branson. It says, "If your dreams don't scare you, they are too small."
Ooh, get yourself a scary dream.
Get yourself some scary dreams. You're like, I don't know if I can do this. And then it's going to make you so much happier when you achieve it. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Jesse, for bringing that pasta discussion, for helping us Marry, Fuck, Kill the pandemic.
It feels good to have finally fucked this pandemic dead. I fucked it dead.
D-E-D, dead.
Single-handedly, I have fucked this pandemic dead.
Until next time.
Just kidding.
Hugs and kisses.
Hearts and shards.
And shardy farts.